If you've ever been in Montana for more than 5 minutes, you've likely heard the terms fly fishing or trout. Here in Montana, one of the most popular trout species to fish for are brook trout. And what you may not know is that brook trout are the only native species of trout to Maryland and to the East Coast, which is where I'm from. Now, on the East Coast, brook trout have suffered decades of pollution caused by poor environmental laws and management. This pollution is very similar to the pollution that bull trout face here in Montana. When I first moved here, I had no idea, and I still don't know about a lot of the local environmental issues here in Missoula and in Montana. So I'm guessing you don't know about a lot of the local environmental issues in Maryland and on the East Coast. That being said, let's dive into a brief history of brook trout on the East Coast. According to a foundation called the Troutlook, which is run by Shannon White, Tyler Wagner, and Ben Klein, brook trout's original habitat ranges from Georgia to Maine and even some parts of Canada. When European settlers first arrived here, they weighed their catches in pounds, some fish even weighing up to 14 pounds. Nowadays, an angler catching a 12-inch fish will probably never catch a brook trout that big, and will probably never know anybody that catches a brook trout that big in their lifetime. Let's examine these drastic changes and why they happen. As I said before, poor environmental laws and management have led to such a sharp decline in the population and size of these fish. According to an article published by David Higgins on October 8, 2019, if only 1.5% of the Chesapeake Bay watershed surface area is covered in impervious material, then the brook trout are doomed. Deforestation and climate change have also been linked to a rise in water temperature, which is extremely bad for brook trout because they rely on very cold waters to be able to live. Within the next 100 years, brook trout could be eradicated completely from Maryland waterways if nothing is done. These same issues that brook trout face on the East Coast are very similar and caused by a lot of the same things for here in bull trout in Montana. According to Beecham's Guide to Endangered Species of North America, published on the 14th of August, 2020, deforestation and Superfund sites along the Clark Fork River have been to blame for causing hostile waters for bull trout. Excessive grazing has also been linked to erosion and banks destabilization along the Clark Fork. 74% of the Columbia River Basin has been affected by erosion. Now, I know this is a lot of information to take in, so let's review. I just want to start off by saying that trout have been in North America longer than we have, and within the past few hundred years, we have managed to bring them to the brink of extinction in most states on the East Coast. You might ask yourself as a Montanan, why does this matter? Because if you love fishing as much as I do, you wouldn't want to see this very same thing happen to your states. Now in Maryland, we have come to the point where brook trout are on their last leg, and extreme environmental conservation is needed in order to bring them back. A final important note to remember is that although this is a very sad situation, they can be saved and they can be brought back to their original state for generations of kids to come to enjoy fishing these beautiful fish.